Good afternoon. Welcome to Scrapbooking with a Twist. I'm going to do my my second tic-tac-toe layout today, and I already have my base page done. So we're going to build on it. This is it was just in some loose papers I got that it has chocolate chips on it, and you probably can't see that, but it's like it was just this solid page of chocolate chips. So that fits with what I'm going to scrapbook today. And then just my yellow stripe. I don't know where this came from either. I'll tell you how I get most of my my scrapbook supplies, and that'll be one of the things we talk about today if I remember it. So that's why I don't know what I have a lot. Today I am going to do a flip flap. My tic-tac-toe I think I'm going to do today is going to be pattern paper, which my stripe and my chocolate chips are pattern paper. I'm going to use some enamel dots, and I'm going to use tags again. That's the corner box, and I used tags on my last one too, so I like tags, but anyway, that's just the way it worked out. I'm going to do a flip flap today on this layout. This is going to be a layout documenting my oldest little grandson, who just turned 11, winning the pie contest at our church. We have a chili cook-off and pie contest every February. And so the boys came over to my house and they made pies. And here he is receiving his, I hate that trash can in there, receiving his first prize spoon. He was so proud. So anyway, that is going to go up here. And I have, let's see, here's a picture of him making his, I think that's going to go over here. Here's a picture of him with his prize basket and his spoon. His first place spoon. This is a picture of him eating his pie. And then I'm going to put the flip flap over that. And then this is a picture of his brother that's just like a year younger than he is, making his pie, and his pie was delicious too. He made a millionaire pie. He made a chocolate cream cheese pie, and they were both great. So I think this is where I kind of laid this out, and I think this is where my pictures are going to go. So I'm going to start right up here in this corner. I'm going to put a tag on this to get one of my tags on there. This kind of got some texture to it, so it's kind of get plenty of tape on there. So I'm going to put this one up here, and then, like I said, I'm going to put a tag there. This one is going to go down here, and this one right up here. And this is going to overlap that one. I didn't particularly want all that stuff on the counter there. So let's put this one down, and then we will overlap. Okay. Get that down. I backed this one and this one in white and the others in blue. Let's see if we can get these. Oh, what's on my paper? Get these down. I may go ahead and just set them on this down here. Just let them rest on that. I don't think anything's going to tuck under these. I think everything's going to be on top of them, so I don't have to worry about leaving. I won't have to go back and re-tape or glue. I can just go ahead and get them glued down. I just want to cover some of the stuff on that counter with this one. Okay, so I think that's where those are going to go. And if I move them, they'll still come up, even if I do move them. And then I'm going to put my flip flap right up there. So I think that will work. Now, I had a few things that I want to use. I just kind of laid them out. I don't know if we'll use, I think we're going to use all of this. There's some foam laid out. I went ahead and made this tag. I'll show you what that came from. This is an old Stampopotamus sticker sheet. Stickopotamus sticker sheet, and it's so old that the stickers won't come off of it, so I had to just cut them out. the ones that I decided to use. But I liked them because they had the blue, and he's got that bright blue shirt on. And so I made a tag, put some stitching just with my pen around the edge and inked it a little bit, and used several of those embellishments off of that Stickopotamus sticker page that's so old that it doesn't even do anymore. And then I cut this tag to go up here. And I thought I would put, this is fresh out of the oven. I didn't even get that out. I have a sticker sheet. It's it's Creative Imaginations, and it's by Sandra Walker. But I got several of these that I'm using today off of this sticker sheet. So if that goes there, I was thinking I'd put this here. And I thought about, in the background of this, just working in, I'm trying to work in the blue and maybe a little bit of this brown of the, I thought about just running those across there and then putting that sticker in the middle of it. So let's just do that. Let's just go ahead and commit to doing that. Oops. So while I'm going to just make this little tag, I'm going to very quickly do a little twist today. The twist today is from Matthew 7:5. And this is Jesus talking, and he says, he's talking to the Pharisees actually, and he says, "You hypocrites, first take the plank out of your own eye, then you will see more clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye." So when I was thinking about what I wanted to do today, my pastor on Sunday used a term that caught my attention. And he said something about pet sins. And I thought, oh, wow, that hits home, because I think I have some pet sins. Sins sometimes that we don't think about as being, the real biggies, but we do them and we just kind of allow ourselves to do them. I mean, one of mine for sure is gluttony. I tell you, I am a sweets fiend. And I can just get to where I would rather eat sweets than steak. I mean, I just want my sweets. And so sometimes I really struggle with gluttony. And I'm not obese, but I'm certainly, could stand to lose a few pounds. And that's just one of mine. Another one is sometimes I get prideful about various things in my life, and that's not right. So I think Jesus there was just saying, we really just, it's just warning us against hypocrisy. And he's just saying you need to be careful, because you should not start looking at other people's sin and telling them about their sin when you have obvious sin in your own life. And that just struck me. And my mother used to say, don't go complaining about your neighbor's backyard until after you've cleaned up your own backyard. That's not going to, much of that isn't going to show now that I got it on there, but oh well. So what he said Sunday just really kind of caught my attention. And it made me think of what my mother always said: clean up your own backyard before you start complaining about your neighbor's backyard. So hopefully that, just will kind of give you a little food for thought and help us get the obvious sin out of our own lives, more so than focusing on the sin of others. Okay, so I'm going to just put that right there. That doesn't really show much, but it gives a little bit. And I'll put an enamel dot or something up there, because I got to use enamel dots today. So that kind of takes care of that. I'm going to use, I've already put this up on foam. I think I'm going to use Sweet as Pie as my title. And then I have these like the spoon and the spatula that I thought I might put in behind that. So we're going to try, we'll see what that looks like in a minute. And then I also have this, this cup. That way I get a little bit of the blue up there. So I was kind of thinking about that. And then I made this little, this was just a little thing off of one of those cut-aparts. And I cut it out, and I put the spoon and the little rolling pin. I thought I might stick that down there with this gift box. And then I've got to work on this little cluster right here. And I've got, this is all I have left. This was actually was a cupcake, and so I cut it down to be more of a pie. I was thinking about putting that and maybe these measuring spoons down there. So I've got this one other measuring spoon that I really like. It's a chipboard, but it just doesn't go. Everything else is in the brown tones, and that's more of a silver gray. So I think we'll just skip it for this time. I think I better put a little more tape on that. Sometimes these stickers just don't stick as well as you would like them to. See where we need that. I kind of wanted to get that cupcake more down here. Let's see what we like with this. My base, I really wasn't thinking, you know, I didn't have this layout in mind when I made this base, so maybe I should just, I don't know, since it has those blue things back in behind it, I hate to cover them up. Maybe something like that will be fine. I wanted it over-centered just a little better, but then it kind of gets weird there. See if there's anything else we can use there. No. Unless we just covered this bottom part up and made it bigger. Like that. And then did that. That might work a little better. Let's just try that. Just cover that bottom part up. Needs to go over just a little. And then put that like that. And then our cupcake will cover that corner. I think that'll be okay. I just didn't want that corner where everything came together to show. And then we'll try these little measuring spoons up here. Like that. Yeah, that'll work. All right, now let's get our little cupcake down. I did have it up on foam. I would put those on foam, but that's a clear sticker and it just wouldn't work. Okay, so I'm gonna be okay with that. I think we should put a little foam tape under that. Raise it up just a little in that corner. The little rolling pin is raised. Oh, I said I would tell you about my, you know, I know on my videos a lot of times I say, I don't know where this came from, and I've had this so long. I really, you know, I think there's a person that they do like scrapbooking on a dime or something like that. I could be that because I spend a lot of money at Scrapbook Convention every year. I mean, I go prepared and I spend a lot of money at Scrapbook Convention. And I may make 2 or 3 orders a year, like from scrapbook.com or, you know, some Amazon stuff or something like that. But I really don't, and I go to Hobby Lobby. I do all those things. But I don't order kits. I'm not in a kit club. I don't order kits. I don't do that. And I go to garage sales, and if there's something at the thrift shop that I want or whatever, but I get a lot of stuff from garage sales, and I get a lot of stuff as gifts because my kids and different people know that I scrapbook. And so I get a lot of stuff as gifts, so I get things that other people pick out. And I'm okay with that. And then I put it all together in my stash, and I may get a part of a paper pad here and loose pages there. And like my daughter's mother-in-law used to scrapbook, and she quit, and she just gave me all of her stuff. And I got another person that their mother-in-law passed away, and she scrapbooked. And I mean, it was just tubs of stuff. And so sometimes I'm not out there just really picking out what I get, but it's fun and it's a great hobby and I love it, but I use what I get. And I know there are other people that do that same thing because it can be a very expensive hobby. So when I say I don't know what something is, it's because I've probably gotten it through one of those sources. And so it's not that I just intentionally don't keep up with it or anything. I honestly don't know what it is for that reason. I'm going to put this behind. That was weird. My printer on my computer just made some noises. It sounded strange. I just want these in behind that little title piece. Sometimes these are hard to get off. Even with fingernails, sometimes they're hard to get off. Well, I know it will come off. These grandsons are so funny. They, he's 10, he's 11, and they love to cook. I mean, if we can cook something while they're here, they're just happy as a lark with that. And then my other one that's 10, that's my son's son, he loves to cook. The little ones are not as much, but these three big ones love to cook. I want to kind of have that to the side. And then I'm going to put that coffee cup or whatever it is, because you got to have coffee with your pie. And that's the one thing I had, that I could pull that blue up into this little cluster. I didn't really have any way to get the blue up there. So I'm going to stick that right there. And then I just went ahead and did some foam tape on the back of this. It was a brad. They were actually red, white, and blue cups, and I used one of the blue ones. But it was actually a brad. But I'm just going to stick that coffee cup right there to the edge of all of that. And let that dry. I think that, other than putting our flip flap and some enamel dots on here, I got to get the enamel dots on here because that's part of the tic-tac-toe. So there's the flip flap, and it is going to go right there. Oh, I should have moved those over just a little. I wonder if I still can. That flip flap is a little bigger. Let's see if I can get this up and move it over just a touch. I don't know if I can get these up or not, but we're going to try. Yep. Oh, that went well. Good, good, good. Just, let's see where I need it for that flip flap. So it is going to be right there. So we got to get moved over just a little. Oops, that's a little too high. That'll work. And then like that. glue, come back here. And then get that there. Put a little more glue on this. I did some double foam tape on it, but I think it needs a little glue. I handled it too much. But they're so funny. And of course, then they want to eat it. And then I want to eat it. But they do a good job. We were shocked when he won this, I'll be perfectly honest, because there are some people that are just excellent, excellent bakers, but for some reason the judges liked his, and that was fine with us. It could come down just a little if I can get it loose. I have to tear this whole thing up because I didn't mark where that flip flap was. Okay, I think that's good. All right, let's get our flip flap. I like to do my flip flaps a little differently than some people do. I usually do them to the back of the actual scrapbook page and then let them come out over the page protector. That's just what works better for me, and I know some people stick them to the page protector, but I like it better this way, so that's how I do it. Get that on there, and we've got it. Now if I can find what I did with my enamel dots, I'm going to put a few enamel dots on here, and then I think we're going to be finished. I'm going to put an enamel dot or two right up here with this. And then that's all of the browns that I have. And then let's look at this one. These are almost little geo things. They're little raindrop type things, but that's all I've got in that color. So we're going to use them. Do them down here. Oops. I'm going to have to go back and put a little glue under those. I usually do under enamel dots anyway. Get that one squared away a little. Okay. All right, there's some enamel dots. I only had 2 of those, so that's all we're getting. So I don't really think one of these would work up there. And close our flip flap. I think that's it. I think we're going to leave it just like that. So we have documented our first place pie contest prize. And boy, I'm telling you, those ladies did a good job too. But anyway, whoops, I've got to get that glued down. That is our documentation of that little event in our lives, and I hope you enjoyed it. If let me see if I can get this to hold on right there for just a second. I'll give you some close-ups, and then I will glue those down. So I hope you have a blessed day and be a blessing to someone else.